least as follow her fucking co-workers.
Because she's thirsty. Because she's thirsty. Because she's thirsty.
At least as follow her fucking co-workers.
Because she's thirsty. Because she's thirsty. Because she's thirsty.
What's good, people? It's your boy The Kitchen. Now, it appears that Melyssa Ford's ex-best friend called S, if you guys remember, she was on the podcast a couple years ago. I'd say just over 2 years ago. Well, she took to her Instagram story a couple hours ago and sent shots towards Melyssa's way. Now, if you guys don't know the gist of this beef, Melyssa Ford and S were originally meant to start a podcast together, but out of the blue they fell apart and we had no questions as to why or how it happened. So Melyssa decided to go about it alone and she named her podcast the Menopause Podcast. But then Melyssa Ford got backlash for the name and decided to change it to Hot and Bothered, and she kicked her business partner and friend S out of the picture. Now, S would take to Twitter Spaces and talk about her grievances about the overall business of the podcast, the IP, the idea, where it came from, etc., etc. And if you guys haven't heard this audio, here it is.
It wasn't Melyssa's fault. It wasn't her podcast. It was an idea that I came up with. I shared it with her, with another friend of mine, Tanya, and then I came up with the name. We didn't get to the contract. We didn't get to anything. She just started announcing it. And then basically when it's like, you know, it was my idea. I came up with the name. I trademarked it. And we've been working on it collectively. Like, it was supposed to be a partnership. And then it turned into the Menopod with Melyssa Ford. And I'm just not with that. I don't care about being famous. That wasn't the point of the podcast. It was to share information. She just took it. I mean, it's obvious she wants her own show. So good luck to her. I wish her all the best. But yeah, it wasn't going to work out. We were given a contract. We were not cool with the contract. She said that was the wrong one. She was going to give us an updated version. And then we never spoke to her again. She never hit us back. And then, you know, I had to send her an email to let her know that she can't use the name because I trademarked the name. And that was it. Like, I never heard from her. Next thing I know, she changed it to Hot and Bothered and was announcing it on the pod.
Okay. Was it on the Joe Budden Network or was it your own thing?
I have no idea. That's the thing. Is like I don't know what she was doing. She was handling certain things. I was handling certain things. And then Tanya was handling certain things. That's why it was a group collective. I mean, it just felt like she was just trying to do some shady shit. And that was it. And it was like we had a discussion. It was a partnership. Because there was stuff that was happening that I wasn't cool with. And I spoke up on it. And then, you know, people just, it's like, it seems like Mel wants to be famous. I don't care about being famous. So if you're going to give me a contract, basically trying to take away my rights, trying to take my idea and run with it and make it yours, no, I'm not cool with that. That wasn't what we discussed. And then it's like, she wants to go online and put business out there when it's like, I'm not like that. I'm a private person, you know, like, I just randomly went on the Joe Budden podcast because I was there. I mean, she's not saying anything negative about us, because if she does, then I'll post everything, the conversations, everything, because that's not cool. Like, she didn't even have a conversation with us. She didn't talk to us about it. When we started this together a few months ago, it came from an idea that I had, and then we were talking about it. And then we discussed having a partnership and launching it. And then I don't know what happened. She just tried to take it, like, in front of my face. It was like she was delusional. Like, why would you think that I would let you in front of my face take my idea? I said I don't care who gets credit for it, but on paper we're equal. I don't know what she did. I don't know if she got money for it. It seems like she did, but she didn't share that with us. And maybe that's why she wanted to own, like, she literally wanted to own everything. So that was not going to work. And then when we said, hey, like, you know, can we talk about this? We never heard from her. She wanted to take the menopod and own it. That's what she wanted to do. But it's a partnership. It wasn't like she was like, "Oh, hey, I got this idea." It was the other way around.
Right.
And
Right.
then she changed the name to something else, probably because she has to pivot because somebody probably gave her money, or maybe she has a deal. I don't really know if she's going to be on the Joe Budden Network. I have no idea. And if you have strengths in something and experience, then I'll let you handle it. But when you try to come at me sideways and then take advantage of me and my friend, that's not cool. That's fucked up. And then you just avoid, like, she literally said nothing. That's like avoidant communication. That's poor business acumen. And I don't trust you. So why should I do business with you?
Now, not only would she post that video of Melyssa throwing shade, she would also end that off with a little soliloquy, if you will, that says the following. Words are powerful. They can build or burn bridges. When someone chooses to speak maliciously under the guise of victimhood, it's not just unkind, it's bullying. It's easy to lash out when things don't go our way, but playing victim while intentionally causing harm is not strength. It's pain, misdirected. Life is too short to hold on to bitterness. Not everything works out as we hope, and that's okay. Disagreements are opportunities to grow, not a reason to harm. So by S saying all of this, kind of tells us about the relationship that she's had with Melyssa. And this also is echoes to what many people say about Melyssa, including her own co-hosts, saying that she plays victim a lot. Some would say she's a bully behind the scenes. Some would say she's entitled. Some people would say she's jealous. And I mean, I know what you guys are thinking. Why would Melyssa Ford be jealous of S? What does she have that Melyssa doesn't have? Well, if you remember a while back, S was promoting on the pod that she has a clothing line, which is a kind of, I wouldn't say a parody, but it's kind of like a little twist on popular brands. And she would actually give out clothing to all of the cast. Plus, they actually genuinely seemed to like her clothing. And I was 100% right about this, because the week after S came on, they were all wearing her clothing. And they all seemed to support her. Now, some would say that Melyssa would like the same amount of support that they gave S. But in my opinion, it just doesn't seem that way. It seems like they rather clown Melyssa's endeavours, and they see that as support. For example, her podcast. They all take shots at her podcast and what it's about. And they don't really seem supportive. They just seem like they rather joke on her. Now, the second example. Remember the many movies that Melyssa has starred in? And the trailers would always come up? Joe would clown them. I mean, not just Joe, the whole damn network would clown them. They don't take Melyssa serious as an actress. But how do you guys feel? Do you guys feel like S was right in what she did? Do you guys feel like it was right that she called her out for playing victim, taking her ideas, then leaving her behind with nothing? Or should she in fact get over it? Because this is how the industry works. Like I said, let me know in the comments. Till next time, it's your boy The Kitchen. Deuces.